Okay, sit yourself onto your lift and come into a good cross-leg position. I found my glasses. And then sit yourself in a good cross legs. So by good cross legs, I mean that the outside edge of your feet make contact with the ground. An even contact, although it's always going to be slightly different. One foot is always going to feel slightly different than the other. So just feel like you hit the blades of the heels, just the outside edge of the heel into the floor. Make sure that the hips feel like they are level on the ground, and then hold onto your knees. Lift up into the chest and draw your shoulders down away from your ears. Look down at the floor, look at something that isn't moving. Focus on long, slow, deep, deliberate inhalations and exhalations. Keep your eyes still in the sockets and soften the jaw. Soften the tongue and your throat. I've just realised I haven't put my microphone on. Soften your tongue and your throat. Listen to the breath. Focus on inhalations and exhalations. Listening to the sound of the breath. Hopefully you can hear me more clearly. Just give me a little thumbs up. Yep, okay, great. Thank you. Lift up into the chest, draw your shoulders down. And then release your knees, bring your hands into Namaste, press the palms firmly together, lengthen from your armpits into your elbows into the heels of your hands. And then allow your eyes to gently close. Focus on inhalations, filling the lungs from the bottom to the top, breathing into both lungs evenly, and exhalations, breathing from the top of the lungs to the bottom, exhaling from both lungs evenly. Soften the jaw, soften the tongue, soften the throat, soften and relax the teeth, softening the gums. And then draw your chin forwards and down to make contact with the chest in Jalandhara Bandha. Continue to focus on the breath as you seek to generate a genuine, heartfelt sense of gratitude for something or someone or somewhere. And then hold on to that feeling of abundance in the heart area. Release the hands down towards your knees, palms facing upwards, connecting the tip of the index finger with the tip of the thumb. And then raise your head, allow your eyes to softly open and the focus to softly come back. Just hold onto your knees, lift up into your chest, elevate the heart area upwards, drawing your shoulders down away from your ears. Take a deep inhalation and then turn from the abdomen to the right side. Draw the abdomen across and the ribs and the shoulders, keeping the jaw and the tongue and the throat soft. Relax the teeth. Observe how much tension you hold in the gums. And consciously soften. Using each exhalation to turn a little more intensely to the side. And then come back to the center. Hold onto your knees, lift up into your chest. Take a deep inhalation and then turn to the left. Using each exhalation to intensify the turn. Keeping the jaw and the tongue and the throat and the gums soft. And then come back to the center. Just come off your lift and then come onto your knees. Sit back in the starting point of virasana, big toes together, knees apart. Just let your legs mold into the floor, lift up into the heart area. And then come forwards, hinging at the hips, keeping the seat bones down on the heels if you possibly can. And then stretching your arms away. Really activating your arms by pushing them into the mat and sliding them along the mat away from the knees, away from the feet. Keep the front chest long as you draw the chest closer to the floor, keeping the seat bones down, and then bring the forehead down to the floor. Just breathe in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath. Listen to the sound of the in-breath and the sound of the out-breath. Up onto your knees, turn your toes under, and then come up into dog down. Push the fronts of the thighs through to the backs of the thighs. Turn the fronts of the thighs inwards so that the heels start to separate. Listen to the breath. Listen to the sound of the inhalation and the exhalation. And then step your feet forwards, come up into a standing position and get a couple of blocks for your hands. And then bring your feet as wide apart as your mat, turning your toes inwards. So have your hands on your hips. So you can come into half virasana, of course, with your hands outstretched like this, coming forwards and then bring your hands down. But can be quite strong on your back if there's any back problems. So coming into the pose with the hands on the hips is a softer way for your back. But that doesn't mean you don't activate everywhere in order to prepare the body for the pose. So tighten the kneecaps, turn the fronts of the thighs inwards so that the backs of the thighs broaden outwards, so that it makes space in the hips. Hold onto your hips, squeeze the elbows towards each other, lift the heart area. Keep the head lifted as you come forward, driving forwards with the heart rather than the head. And then reach down, find the blocks. So observe how the pose feels for you this morning. So if you've had a little bit of time off, then all of these poses will feel a little bit new, which is really nice, I think. It's a good, fresh experience. It's a good way of observing maybe some of the bad habits that you've had and being able to correct them. So feel how your body responds to the pose. Of course, you're gonna focus particularly on areas of resistance, and if you haven't done yoga for a little while, there's going to be plenty of areas of resistance. But try and draw your focus beyond the resistance. Draw your focus into areas of the physical body without letting go of the action. Areas of the physical body that present little or no resistance. your focus there. And then maintaining the acknowledgement of the existing resistance. Maybe that existing resistance feels different. Maybe feels less intense. If you can go down lower, then do. If you've got a bad back, just stay at the higher lift, just to ensure that you don't overdo it. Stamp the thumbs firmly into the blocks. Stretch the fingers away from the thumbs and feel how you open the backs of the legs, how you open the armpits. Stamp the thumbs into the blocks. Lengthen the other fingers away from the thumbs. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Maybe coming down a little more, or just knowing where your limit is an essential part of your practice. If you can reach down to the floor or reach around the heels, keeping the spine lifted and long, then do. Okay, bring your hands into your hips, bend your knees on the way up if you need to, especially if you've got a bad back, and then come up into a standing position. Just move the blocks out of the way and then come back up into Tadasana. So be in Tadasana, inner edge of the feet together, big toes together, heels together, tighten your kneecaps, draw the inner knees towards the back of the room, tuck the tailbone in, lift up into the chest, turn the palms all the way out so that the collarbone broadens. Listen to the breath. Focus on long, slow, deep, deliberate breaths. Bring your arms out nice and wide, in towards the chest, and then step or jump your feet apart, nice and wide. Turn the left toes in, the right leg and foot all the way out. Spread the toes and then come over into trikonasana, keeping that back leg really firmly activated, looking up. Just breathe in through the nose and out through the nose, finding your alignment. Again, just being observant of your body's response to the pose. So that doesn't just mean, well, of course I'm observant because I can feel it, because you'll be able to feel it one area more than others, and the propensity is to just obsess about that one area of extension, of stretch. So draw, if there's a really strong action, for example in the hamstrings on the right leg, then go to the hamstrings of the left leg, activate them so that you even out the feeling of intensity. And it's not just because you're making one hurt, both of them hurt. In fact, it should never hurt. But because you activate the mirror image area, it takes the pressure away from the area of intensity. Come back to the center. Just drop your hands a second. Swap the feet all the way around. And then come to the other side. So on that side, it was there for me this morning that was feeling kind of really like it was a strong stretch, and maybe a stretch that started to feel kind of a little unpleasant. And so rather than coming out of the pose and thinking, right, well, I can't do that because that's that area is going to kind of, that it's telling me that that's a bad feeling. Instead of just kind of coming out of the pose and just giving into that, then you make this same area of the other leg, you consciously activate that area. And then it takes the pressure away from the area of intensity. So think of the mirror image area and what you can do in that mirror image area to kind of just draw the intensity away from whatever's happening on one side rather than the other. So lift up into the chest, come over to the other side. Don't preempt where there's going to be restriction or resistance, just observe it. So maybe on this side there isn't the same resistance. Just observe how your body responds to the pose. And if you find areas of significant resistance, then activate the mirror image area of the body. And maybe you notice that you take away some of the intensity on the area and you even it out a little. Come back to the center, bring the feet parallel and then step or jump your feet back together. Just feel how the legs have come to life. Just observe that feeling of energetic extension in the legs, on the inner legs especially. Just listen to the breath. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath. Just focusing on filling the lungs from the bottom to the top, emptying the lungs from the top to the bottom. If you've got a belt handy, just bring that belt over the shoulder, over the right shoulder. So get yourself a belt and then hang it over your right shoulder for gomukhsasana. So we really opened up the shoulder, the hips and the legs. So it only feels right to open up the shoulders. So come back into Tadasana. Stretch the left arm forwards, really spread in the fingers, spread in the palms. Turn the palm all the way out, but at the same time rotate the upper arm in the socket. That's really important. Keep rotating that upper arm in the socket as you reach that arm behind you. Keep rotating that upper arm in the socket and then bend the elbow, assist that hand up towards your neck and then reach up with the right hand. Reach up with the right hand and then bend the elbow and then see, can you take hold of the fingers? If you can't, then just use the belt. So maintain your Tadasana from the legs upwards. Pull the elbows apart, lift the top elbow to the ceiling, the bottom elbow to the floor. Have a tug of war between the elbows. Breathe evenly and consciously into both lungs. Soften the jaw and the tongue and the throat and the gums. Keep creeping the hands towards each other. Try and increase the number of joints on the fingers that connect. So some people can get hold of the opposite wrist. So keep creeping the hands towards each other. Just pulling that top elbow to the ceiling, pulling the bottom elbow to the floor. Maintaining your Tadasana, tightening the kneecaps, turning the fronts of the thighs inwards so that the backs of the thighs broaden outwards, tucking the tailbone in, lifting the bladder region to the abdomen, abdomen to the diaphragm, to the collarbone. And then release the top arm. That's the nice one. Release the top arm, and then maybe you need to drop the chest a little just to give you space to release the other arm. It might feel like it's stuck. Don't worry, it's not. Just gently release it. Be kind and gentle. Put the belt over the left shoulder in case you need it. So even if you didn't need it on that side, off on this side, I do quite often need the belt. Or on this side rather. Lift up into the chest, turn the thighs, stretch your arm away, turn the palm, start in that action of rotation in the shoulder, rotation in the shoulder socket, keep rotating that arm, and then again assist that hand up towards your neck, and then reach up. Reach to the ceiling, and then bend your elbow and see, can you take hold? So on this side, for me, I can just about get my fingers together, but I'm going to start off with the belt because that will give me a bit more space, and then I'll get my fingers together, get my hands together a little later. So just hold onto the belt or onto the hands, and lengthen the top elbow to the ceiling, the bottom elbow to the floor. Go back into your Tadasana, and then just keep creeping the hands ever closer together. Breathing from the bottom of the lungs to the top, emptying the lungs from the top to the bottom, softening the jaw and the tongue and the throat. And then if you were using the belt, just see maybe if you can take hold of the hand. If you can't, don't worry, just continue with the belt. Just open up the shoulders. Listen to the breath. My shoulders feel pretty stiff this morning, so this feels really nice just to open up that stiffness. Lengthen from the armpit into the elbow of that lifted arm. Okay, release the top arm, release the bottom arm, and then just feel the energy of the arms lengthening from the shoulders into the fingertips. Just let the belt go. Stretch your arms forwards, interlock the fingers right into the webbing of the hands, and try and get the fingers to stretch towards the opposite wrist. So you're not gripping into the back of your hand, you're lengthening the fingers towards the wrists. Turn the palms all the way out, squeezing the outer elbows in, and then raise your arms over your head. Keep the legs activated, turning the thighs, tucking the tailbone in. Breathing even deep inhalations and exhalations. Winging the elbows if you can beyond your ears. And then release your arms. Swap the interlock of the fingers, turn the palms. So again, lengthen the fingers towards the opposite wrist. So you really get into the webbing of the hands. And then turn your palms all the way out. Raise your arms over your head. And then come back into baddangulyasana. Starting from the feet into the shins, into the knees, into the thighs, into the tailbone, into the bladder, into the abdomen, diaphragm, collarbone, the armpits, the elbows, the wrists, the palms, the fingers, the fingertips, the fingernails. And then release your arms. Just come back into Tadasana. Just feel how you have brought energy and warmth into the shoulders, into the arms, into the hands. Okay, we're going to do dog down. If you're not doing dog down, then go down into supta baddangulyasana, laying on your back with your feet together, close to the seat bones, and your knees apart. Otherwise, if you're doing dog down, have your hands shoulder width apart. Step back, turn your toes under, have your feet hip width apart, and then come up into dog down. So your dog down will feel maybe lighter. Activate the legs as we were doing in Tadasana. Lifting the fronts of the thighs up to the top of the legs, turning the fronts of the thighs inwards so that the backs of the thighs broaden outwards. Push the fronts of the knees through to the backs of the knees. Push the fronts of the shins through to the backs of the calves. And breathe in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath. Resist bringing the heels down to the floor initially. Just work to have the heels high away from the floor and then lift the seat bones up towards the ceiling. Keep pushing the fronts of the thighs through to the backs of the thighs. Do the same thing if you're working in Dandasana or supta baddangulyasana, just release into the floor. If you're in dog down, lift the seat bones and then keep the seat bones lifted, and then maybe try and draw your heels a little closer to the floor. But if you find creases at the fronts of the between the shins and the feet, then you're dropping your legs. So keep those legs lifted, keep the heels higher. Okay, everyone come down onto your knees. If you're in supta baddangulyasana, just stay in supta baddangulyasana. Just observe your energy. Observe how the body is feeling in comparison to how it felt. Observe the lightness in the arms and the shoulders, and that almost effervescent energy in the hands. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath. Okay, so if you're in supta baddangulyasana, come out of supta baddangulyasana. So we're going to go into rajakapotasana. So come up onto your knees and have your hands underneath your shoulders, your knees underneath your hips, stretching into your toes. Just listen to the breath. Just have a swing of the hips from one side to the other, just opening up those side hips. Just opening up the muscles at the sides of the hips, just softly allowing them to broaden, and then bring the hips level with the knees. So bring your right knee to make contact with your right wrist. Bring the right foot underneath the left thigh. And then stretch that left leg away. Point the toes and come up onto the fingertips. Lift up into the chest. Turn that leg, that back leg, like you're doing Tadasana. Well, not like you're doing Tadasana. Do Tadasana with that back leg. Turn the front thigh inwards. The back of the thigh broadens outwards, bringing the hip forwards so that the hips are level. Lift up into the chest. Feel the stretch of the left side of the abdomen. If it feels weird or unpleasant to lift the chin, then just look forwards, but keep lifting the chest. Otherwise, draw the chin to the ceiling. And then bring the palms down. Turn the toes under that left foot. Step in with the left knee. And then bring the right leg back. So just come back onto all fours. So shoulders directly underneath the knees. No, that didn't make any sense at all, did it? Hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. And then bring the left knee forward to make contact with the left wrist. Bring the left foot underneath the right thigh. And then lengthen that right leg away. Come up onto the fingertips. Tadasana-ize that back leg. Lift up into the chest. If you can lift the chin. If not, then just look forward. Work to lift from the abdomen to the diaphragm to the collarbone. Do Tadasana with that back leg. Even tighten the kneecap a little. And you really open up in the abdominal region. And then just bring the hands down onto the palms. Step back with that back leg. Come back into all fours. And then sit back on your heels for a moment. Again, just observe your energy. Observe your energy and then come forward into Adho Mukha Virasana. So stretching forward, pushing the hands firmly into the floor, really activating the arms. Turning the tailbone in. Lengthening the sacrum spine down towards the heels. Keeping the arms really active. Lengthening from the hips into the armpits, into the elbows, into the wrists, into the palms, into the fingers. Go back to the jaw and the tongue and the throat and the teeth. Softening the areas. Okay, push your hands into the floor and then push yourself up into the seated position. Just sitting back on your heels for a moment, just observe all of that energy that you have released through your poses so far. Just sit yourself in crossed legs. So half Padmasana is fine, or normal cross legs. If you need to sit on a lift, if you sink in the abdomen, then sit on a lift. If you need to sit on a lift, then do hold on to your knees, lift up into your chest, elevating the heart area upwards, drawing your shoulders down away from your ears. Again, just observe your energy. Listen to the sound of the breath. Try and keep your eyes open. Just observe the feeling of the physical energy. Take a deep inhalation and then turn to the right side. Dig the back hand firmly into the floor so that you roll onto the front edge of the seat bones. Have you brought all of your weight onto the right seat bone? Can you bring some levelness? Draw the abdomen across, the ribs and the shoulders across. Listen to the breath. And then come back to the center. Hold onto your knees. Lift up into the chest. And then turn to the left. And then come back to the center. Just come down onto your back in supta baddangulyasana. So just come down onto the floor, down onto your back, soles of the feet together, knees apart, and then guide yourself down to the floor. Just feel the front of the body opening up, just letting gravity broaden the hips. If there's stiffness in your hips, of course, put some blocks underneath the outsides of your thighs, but otherwise just let gravity draw the hips apart. Push the heels consciously together, creating some compactness in the hips. Tuck the tailbone in a little, lengthening the tailbone away from the sacrum spine so that the lumbar spine is supported. And raise your arms up, interlock the fingers, lengthening the fingers to the opposite wrists. Turn the palms all the way up, keep the thumbs together, and then lengthen your arms along the floor, using lift underneath your hands if there's stiffness in your shoulders. So a folded blanket or some blocks. Otherwise just use the floor. So supta baddangulyasana is a good alternative to an inversion. It's a grounding action. Squeeze the outer elbows in. Listen to the breath. Raise your arms up to the ceiling, swap the interlock of the fingers, again lengthening the backs of lengthening the fingers into the opposite wrist, keeping the thumbs in connection, and then raise your arms over your head. Lengthening out along the floor, keeping the feet active, keeping the tailbone lengthening from the sacrum, keeping the lumbar spine supported on the floor. Lengthening from the hips into the armpits, into the elbows, the wrists, the palms, the fingers, the fingertips, the fingernails. From the hips into the knees, into the shins, into the feet, into the heels, into the toes, into the toenails. So feel that the body is fully engaged. Just release your arms. Just rest your hands on your lower ribs. Just release the legs. Just flop into the floor for a moment. And then draw your knees towards each other. The knees together and the feet apart. Just letting the hips rest out. And then drawing your knees in towards your chest. Just have a little rock from side to side, from top to bottom. Just gentle massage on the spine. And then get a blanket from underneath your head. A folded blanket from underneath your head. And then stretch your legs out. Come up onto your elbows. Just make sure you're in a really good straight line right down the centre of your mat. And then just allow the body to release into the floor. If you've got glasses on, it's nice to take them off this last couple of minutes. Let the body release into the ground. Observing the energy that you have released through your practice. Let go of the muscles of the arms and the legs. Consciously unhooking the muscles of the arms and the legs. Allow the body to become heavy on the floor. And out of that heaviness comes a feeling of energetic lightness that radiates from the bones and into the muscles and the organs. And the flesh and the skin. Basking in that feeling of energetic lightness, draw the energy down to the toes and the fingers and up into the top of the head, using the breath. Okay, when you're ready to disturb yourself, just wriggle your toes, wiggle your fingers, just bring yourself back into this pose of shavasana. And then bend your knees, bring your knees in towards your chest, just have a little rock from side to side, from top to bottom, just a gentle massage on the spine. And then very gently roll over onto your right side. Just stay down for a breath or two. And then straighten out the top leg, come back up into a seated position. Just a final cross legs with your hands in the masti, just a final spinal lift. Just bring the hands into the masti. Draw your breath energy down into the abdomen. Be conscious of the energy that you have released through your practice this morning, that good, positive, healthy flow of clean energy that the extensions and the forward bends and the twists and the inversions bring to the body and to the mind. And then gently draw your chin down to meet your chest. Spend a moment to acknowledge the positive energy you have been creating inside. And then send some of that positive energy accumulating around the heart area out into the world. And then release the backs of your hands down towards your knees, palms facing upwards. And as you raise your head, allow your eyes to softly open and the focus to softly come back. Thank you. So hopefully you feel like you've really lifted and opened up your energy, giving yourself some really good positive energy to put into your day. So thank you very much for joining me.